thank you for working with me and the Democratic members of this committee to advance a wide range of timely legislative matters. The roster for today is ambitious and includes vehicles for each of our 6 subcommittees. By and large, there is bipartisan agreement on these measures and many of these amendments that members are expected to present today. I'd like to highlight 4 bills, however, sponsored by committee Democrats. H.R. 3350, as introduced by a ranking member of the Committee on Counterterrorism Subcommittee, Representative Higgins, is targeted at ensuring that the best minds come together to protect our citizens and roadways from the threats of release or misappropriation of chemical, biological, radiological, or nuclear material. The CBN Terrorism Threats to Transportation Act was introduced in response to a decision by the Department of Energy to allow nuclear waste to be transported on our roadways. That decision was made without the benefit of timely information about the threat picture. Enactment of H.R. 3350 would ensure that DOE gets that information. Representative Richmond, the ranking member on the Cybersecurity Subcommittee, introduced H.R. 3510, the DHS Cybersecurity Strategy Act of 2015, in response to a recent Office of Inspector General's report that found that coordination among DHS components and offices involved in executing its multifaceted cybersecurity mission was lacking. H.R. 3510 will put DHS on the right path by requiring DHS to have a department-wide strategy and plan. Representative Payne, a ranking member of the Emergency Preparedness Subcommittee, introduced H.R. 3144, the Partners for Aviation Security Act, to prevent TSA from making changes to the list of items that passengers are prohibited from bringing on a plane without consulting its main partners in aviation security, the organization that make up the Aviation Security Advisory Committee. Enactment of 3144 will strengthen the partnership between TSA and stakeholders who share its commitment to security. The ASAC. The final Democratic bill to be considered is legislation that I introduced, H.R. 3505, the Department of Homeland Security Clearance Management and Administration Act. As the title suggests, Mr. Chairman, it seeks to improve how DHS manages its clearance process at all stages, from decisions on whether to designate positions as requiring clearances to process to ensure uniformity in how clearances are adjudicated, suspended, denied, and revoked. I appreciate again Chairman McCall's willingness to work with me and the Democrats on this committee. Before I yield back, I'd like to acknowledge that many of the bills under consideration today are the product of extensive bipartisan collaboration. In particular, I'd like to single out 3 major bipartisan bills: H.R. 3572, the DHS Headquarters Reform and Improvement Act of 2015, as advanced by Oversight Chairman Perry and Ranking Member Watson Coleman; H.R. 3583, the Prepare Act, as advanced by Emergency Preparedness Chair McSally and Ranking Member Payne; H.R. 3578, the DHS Science and Technology Reform and Improvement Act, as advanced by Cybersecurity Chair Ratcliffe and Ranking Member Richmond. We also had on the floor this week a bill by Mr. Vila, and I think we've had excellent floor time with bills, Mr. Chairman, this session, and I look forward to many of these bills also having floor time. With that, I yield back.